Hi, I'm Damon Lassiter. I'm the illustrator and co-author of Elvis, Ryder and his Glitchy Gearbot.
And hello, I'm Mary Beth Lassiter. I'm the co-author and audiobook narrator of Elvis, Ryder and his Glitchy Gearbot. This is the futuristic science fiction adventure about a young boy trying to get his science project to the school district science fair.
Constructed in Cinema 4D, rendered in Unreal Engine.
21 augmented reality scenes, no app needed. Coloring pages, downloadable 3D print files, and AR helmet try-on. Hello, everybody. Elvis, Ryder and his Glitchy Gearbot is the story of a young inventor racing to get his science project working and to get it to the school district science fair on time.
About halfway through this video, a QR code will appear that lets you launch one of the book's solar system experiences right in your own space using augmented reality. There's no app to download, and if you're watching on a phone or tablet, the link to the same experience is in the description.
And if you stick around to the end, we'll give you our free interactive Elvis, Ryder and his Glitchy Gearbot, the complete story, a coloring page, 4 augmented reality experiences, and a 3D downloadable print of Gearbot.
I was born at Albert Einstein Hospital in the Bronx, New York. I was raised for the most part in Cambria Heights, Queens. I was into science, hip-hop, comic books, and cartoons. Got my start in digital art in the 2000s by making 3D animations for medical device patent applications, some of which you see here. Elvis is one of 4 kids that will be featured in this series. Being from Queens, New York myself, I grew up and went to school in a very diverse environment. So for me, making a story about kids from different backgrounds falls in line with my personal experiences growing up.
I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I played softball for several years. I enjoyed watching the Steelers play on Sundays and attending home games with my dad. In college, I had an internship at a child care center, which turned into a 20-year career.
Getting back to our book, there are 2 versions of this book, 4 to 8-year-old version for early readers and 7 to 10-year-old version for advanced readers.
Elvis Ryder will become part of the NOVA team, a group of child astronaut adventurers. Elvis Ryder and his Glitchy Gearbot is book 1 of 5 in the NOVA team origin series.
Here's some of Elvis's accessories, and like many memorable sci-fi characters, his accessories have to look cool. And he needs a cool way to get around.
If you would like to follow our journey as we build the NOVA team universe, please like and subscribe. So this is Elvis's bedroom, as it was constructed in Cinema 4D. It doubles as his workshop. The buildings outside of his window exist in 3-dimensional space to add depth to the scene. And this is Elvis's room once it was uploaded into Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine added additional aesthetics with its impressive texture and lighting visuals.
Elvis and Gearbot are headed to their school district science fair in Astoria Prime. A little homage to Astoria, Queens. I started out with simple shapes and constructed buildings with colors that would pop out. The first 10 pages of the book have a more muted color palette, and I wanted their journey into the city to explode with colors. I just kept adding more buildings and details like a bridge, a lake, flying cars, a sports stadium, until I felt I had something that could plausibly be considered a city. This shot right here with the camera panning under the bridge showed me that I had enough for the makings of a lively city. And then it was off into Unreal Engine.
Importing the city into Unreal Engine as one FBX file just wasn't working, so the city had to be imported piece by piece.
This is Elvis Ryder's blueprint in Unreal Engine. Elvis is composed of several different parts, plus all of his digital internal bone structure. I animated his face with mocap, and his body was animated with keyframes. His hands are separate attachments that were controlled via a control rig. I placed all that into a level sequence, and I was able to control his facial expressions, body movements, and hands with independent animation tracks inside the level sequence. And I made a different level sequence for each page.
This is Gearbot, Elvis's companion and science project for the science fair. Gearbot is indeed glitchy, and Elvis is going to have to use his problem-solving skills and a little improvising to get him to their destination. Here's some of the book renders. This is the back cover image. This is a shot of Elvis's room. And this is a shot that didn't make it into the book because the book was 3 pages too long and the story had to be condensed.
Scan the QR code and tap the cube to launch. As promised, since you made it this far into the video, here is the QR code to launch our solar system scene on your device into your own space. If you're watching this on a smartphone or a tablet, the link to the AR experience is in the description and you will be able to launch it from there. Now for the construction of the augmented reality scenes. Here's Gearbot, straight out the story. I start off by exporting the Cinema 4D file as a GLB file. GLB is for Android devices, and I use the GLB file to make the USDZ file, which is for iOS, your Apple iPhones and Apple tablets. Now, I'm leaving a ton out. I don't want to get too much into the nerd weeds here, but if anybody wants to talk about file sizes, polygon counts, and materials in the comments, I'm all for it.
Here's one of the bonus AR science history scenes included in the book. The Apollo 11 moon landing. And here's another. This is also a bonus AR scene that's in the book. This is the April 2026 Artemis 2 mission. In this one, it depicts the Orion spacecraft moon flyby and its trajectory from Earth to the moon.
Now let's bring elements of this space to life in augmented reality. The AR version of Elvis had to be cut into 42 different parts, and the joints had to be digitally molded so that during movement he still appears as one functioning body. This took about 2.5 hours per intersecting joint. I molded 2 joints per day for some amount of weeks to get the 42 parts to look as seamless as possible during AR animation. Each body part was animated with keyframes because there's no app needed. This is WebAR. Digital bone animation typically exceeds the data limitations that web-based augmented reality has to operate within. We'll be showing you the 3D prints of Elvis and Gearbot so we can bring them into the real world.
We'll show you how the prints turned out, but first let's take a look at the AR scene. Here we have Elvis and Gearbot racing to the science fair beside the train. You can make these scenes bigger or smaller. You can rotate this, get up close, go around it, on top of it, under it, and even inside of it. And here we have one of our children trying on Elvis's helmet. This isn't a filter. Our helmet try-on allows for anybody to see their facial features through the visor area instead of it being a helmet that just covers your face entirely. Your face is part of the experience and you become part of the story.
3D printing Gearbot here with my Bamboo Labs A1. These are some of the downloadable prints available at the end of the book. I decided to make a 9-inch model, so it's about a 12-hour print. And there goes Gearbot with his support trees. Let's get him off the platform and remove the model's support trees. Give him a good look, and that's a great print. He's ready for the next steps. There's Elvis in an action pose. Elvis's 42 components had to be combined into one mesh. Being that this is the mesh that I separated for AR, there are some holes in it that aren't visible. I used the volume mesher and the volume builder to close up any holes so that the STL file was seamless for export to the 3D printer. And there's Elvis, ready for next steps.
Next, it was time to dry sand and wet the models. After they were dried, our oldest painted them with acrylic paint. This is a fun learning activity because kids get to learn about 3D printing and model painting. This is how they turned out. She did a great job.
Made of.
They're made out of something called PLA plastic.
There's Elvis looking cool and responsible wearing his helmet. The AR scene and the models get to meet outside of the book.
And here is a 3D print from one of the science history scenes. The Orion spacecraft from the April 2026 Artemis 2 mission, where 4 astronauts did a flyby around the moon. And there is the finished print. I cut the book into various ebook and paperback formats in Adobe InDesign. Cutting this book for cross-platform distribution can be an entire other video unto itself.
I performed the audiobook narration, then sound effects and music were added. Elvis leaned close, twisting his double box end wrench with care, steady hands, and a racing heart. On his homework table in his bedroom, Elvis tightened one last bolt. The story, the AR experiences, the coloring pages, the 3D prints all make for a very fun family activity-packed learning experience.
Be sure to look out for the next book in our series, Alana Lightstorm and Her Floating Volcano.
Thank you so much for watching. And if you like what we're doing, please like this video, subscribe, and follow us along in our journey as we continue to build the Nova Team universe.
And before you go, scan the QR code on your screen to get your free interactive edition of Elvis, Ryder, and his Glitchy Gearbot. It includes the complete story, 4 of the book's 21 augmented reality scenes, a coloring page, and a downloadable Gearbot 3D print file.
Just join our email list and we'll send everything to you instantly. And after you've read the story, come back and tell us what you think in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.